Mike.
in charge of the classes.
Mike.
We will begin proceedings again very soon.
Mike, can you send out like a Facebook and a WhatsApp and text it out again? That we're live.
What?
That we're live for the speech of Kale.
Everything's good.
Kale's speech.
They don't give a shit about that.
There might be 5 people. His aunt in Toronto, I don't know. I'll be back with the speeches in about 5 minutes, guys.
Alright, ladies and gents, please find your way back to your seats. Thank you. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everyone enjoyed their event. We just have one more sort of formality before we get the show on the road. I know everyone wants to get partying and started. Of course, we have one more speech to go through. That is, of course, the groom himself. Nice one. All right. I feel it's my duty to introduce the next speaker, but I feel as well, if you don't know who or what Kale is about by now, sure, there's not much I can say. That makes two of us, really. Kale, this is your last chance. I can get a car around back, we can hop in there, we can go. You sure you want to go through with this? We can go hit the village right now. Are you sure? Are you ready? Yeah, it does. Alright, well, I'm hitting the village anyways. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you the ultimate man with a plan, the groom without a broom, the ultimate male. I present to you, Kale.
I think first off, in the words of my fellow Canadian, Justin Bieber, I have to say, is it too late now to say sorry? I don't even know what I'm saying in speech anymore because I feel like you guys know me pretty deep at this point. Second of all, Carolee, these are for you. There's more at the back for you. I'd really like to welcome everyone tonight on behalf of Faye, our families. Thank each and every one of you for being here with us today to take part in for us is the greatest celebration, the greatest achievement of our lives so far after a long 4 years of both living in different countries, the same country, going through immigration and whatnot. So thank you all very much for being here near and far. It really does mean a lot to us. Second of all, I really do have to mention how beautiful the bridesmaids look today. I think that has to go. I don't think that has to go mentioned, but hey, it's starting with 3 girls, huh? And of course, my beautiful bride, the most beautiful girl in the room. Would you all agree on that as well? And just before I start my speech, I know there's about 10 Canadians in the room and there's about 130 South Africans, and we have a lot of questions, and believe me, I've been through them all. So, I'm just going to run through a few of the obvious questions and answers that are to be asked, just in an effort to save some time tonight on the dance floor and as the night goes on. So, first of all, yes, we are better than Americans. No, we don't pay for healthcare. The current temperature in Ottawa is a balmy 11 degrees, which for you is freezing, and for us is warm. I don't say a boot, but I do say a. Instead of how's it, we say how are ya, or good day. Instead of see you now, we just say see you later. If your name is either Craig or Greg, it's pretty much the same thing. So. Craig. I have seen a beaver and a bear fight, and the beaver won. That's the God honest truth. Not even lying. That's not even just put it this week. I've actually seen that. And yes, we love maple syrup, and we put that shit on everything. Right. Into the speech. Now, I ran through the speech a good few times. I've timed it. It's been everywhere from 8 minutes to 22 minutes. So we'll just see where the needle falls, and just bear with me, please. So the actor Bill Murray was once approached by a bachelor party in South Carolina, actually, and they asked him to come by the table and give a few words of advice to the groom-to-be. And at first he was a little bit reluctant to come and say a few words, but eventually throughout the night he did come around and oh, thanks, Greg. Craig. Yeah. Craig or Greg? Craig? Nailed it.
Well, man, Craig.
So when Bill Murray did come around to the table eventually, unannounced, the one piece of advice he gave was, if you have someone that you think is the one, don't just in your ordinary mind say, okay, let's make a date, let's plan this, make a party, and get married. You take that person, you travel around the world, you buy a plane ticket for the two of you, travel all around the world, go to places that are hard to get into and hard to get out of. And when you land back home, when you land at the airport, if you're still in love with that person, get married at the airport. After living on either side of the world while dating Faye, exploring everywhere in between, I would have married you at King Shaka, but the arrivals area only suits for 75. Although Steers was willing to cater, which I was all in favor of. Now, in fairness, my life has been a journey, not metaphorically, but extremely literally. I have not stopped moving, never stopped exploring. It has all led me to this very moment, to exactly where I am right now. And each and every single one of you here has been a milestone in that journey for both me and Faye. I was lucky enough to have Faye join me along the way, and as much as I've traveled, I'd be absolutely lost without her. Well, my journey in life has been nothing but a perfect sequence of life events and experiences that can only be labeled as fate or destiny, or as a rationalist like Patrick here might label it, a string of consequential choices leading to a particular coincidence. Not quite as flattering. I've always lived by the motto that a ship in the harbor is safe, but that's not what ships are built for. And that calm seas don't make for good sailors. But one chance and opportunity in particular changed my life forever. And it was an opportunity proposed to me by Patrick while he was living in Ottawa, to move out to Whistler with him for a ski season. He had a house sorted, a wild English housemate, guess who? At first I thought I figured I'd traveled enough. My parents said, maybe it's time that you stay in one place for a while, maybe get a career going, who knows. But the next thing I knew, I was handing in my 2 weeks at work. I told my friends I was leaving the week before I left. And so on to the folks. The next 6 months I was on a plane out to Whistler without a clue as to what I was in for. And when you're young and you work in a resort like Whistler, you really tend to live for the moment and the weather forecast. And the past is parked just outside the bubble. And at a time in my life when nothing was in order, and I was living purely for the moment, had no idea what the next move was, along came Faye. And from that moment on, everything seemed to make sense in the most mystical kind of way. As a fan of the A-Team, I can't help but quote John Hannibal's line, "No matter how random things might be, there's still a plan." And I love it when a plan comes together. Faye and I met under the best of circumstances. Jaeger shots, and rugby talk. Faye was impressed that a Canadian could be such a keen rugby fan, and I was surprised that she was able to outdrink me when it came to Jaeger. I left the bar without her. I hardly made my way home. But what man here wouldn't have fallen in love right then and there? From that moment on, we were quite literally inseparable. I was ensnared. We hung out together, and I was the happiest guy on earth. When we weren't together, I couldn't wait for the next moment I got to see her. We have literally been inseparable ever since and have shared some of the best times of our lives together, and today is absolutely no exception. Now, after being with Faye for 2 years, it was time to meet the family. We met in Italy on a ski season, or a ski holiday, I should say, as Stephen mentioned, and I knew I had to fill my boots. I knew I was to be interrogated by 2 brothers. I had to be on my best behavior to impress Fiona. And of course, the biggest hurdle, gaining the approval of Steve Jacoby. This was even more intimidating given the fact that Steve had no hair at the time and could pass as the world's meanest drill sergeant. And I was petrified. But I had to make a plan. So I cooked a homemade Italian meal which seemed to win over Fee. As Steve said, Miles and James and I got along together well on the ski hills and in every single pub, I think, on the mountain.
Yeah. Yeah.
As for Steve, I knew his Achilles heel thanks to Faye. After a long evening, about 14 cups of coffee later and a full bottle of Jaeger down, I'd say we had hit it off pretty well. I seriously couldn't imagine a better family to be a part of other than my own, and I felt loved and welcomed by all of you from the moment I met you. So thank you all for that. Here we are another couple years later, and I'm now a South African resident. Legally. So you can't get me out. You can try, but I'm here. No matter what any slideshow or music video will tell you. I have a new home, a new family, a whole new group of friends, and I want to thank all of you for being part of the journey here with us wherever you may fit into our story. And each and every one of you here really do fit into that story somewhat. So really, thank you all very much for being part of it. Before I go on to talk about the real reason I'm up here, which is my beautiful wife, Faye, a few small thanks are in order. First of all, I'd like to extend the biggest thanks to Steve for hosting a wedding of our dreams, for allowing a Canadian to darken your doorstep over the past 2 years. I can't thank you guys enough for all your kindness and generosity over the years. It's truly been overwhelming. You're a great man, a wonderful father, and it shows in everything you do. Fiona, I'd like to thank you for your constant outpouring of help and kindness. You've been an incredible mother, and together with Steve have raised 3 amazing children who I'm particularly fond of, and in particular a flawless daughter with every amazing value and quality that anybody could ever ask for in life. No training or instructions required. She came pre-assembled. And most importantly, Fee, you've been the best South African mother to me. And although I've lost my own mother recently, I'm so blessed to have gained a new one as great as you are. So thank you very much. I really do have to give a big thank you to James for being the host with the most, as always, and the showman. I'd thank Miles as well. The 2 of you are the only brothers I've ever had, and the best I've ever had. I've been privileged and very lucky to be joining such a great family. Now, to my family, Lindsay. I'll go easy on you, don't worry. Thanks for being my big... I suppose I should tell me my ABCs, I don't remember. Thanks for always being my big sis, and most times a bigger brother. Thanks for teaching me all I need to know growing up, my ABCs. I can still sing along to pretty much every New Kids on the Block song there is thanks to you, whether that's cool or not. Most people aren't too impressed by it. And you also taught me to learn how to braid hair. And I do it like a champion, by the way. The beats and crap you used to give me definitely toughened me up better than any big brother ever could. And I've always looked up to you and tried to be the best brother I ever could, and I always will be. Dad, the strongest person I know. Probably the strongest people most people know. I may never have told you this, but you and Mom are always my heroes. I've always idolized and respected you guys so much. You taught me the importance of good hard work, the importance of earning everything yourself. Cut your own firewood, it'll warm you twice. You taught me to seize opportunity. The day of the fair is the day to be there. You taught me to never say whoa in a mud puddle. You taught me how to be tough. You taught me to fix what is broken rather than replace it, and to always lend a hand when needed. You and Mom gave me my sense of humor. You taught me how to make others laugh because laughter is the best medicine. And no matter what the situation may be, it doesn't cost any extra to be nice. We've taught each other patience, even when we've both run out of it. And I've learned so much from you over the years and admired all your strength and sacrifice for us. I can only hope that I can be as strong, loving, as caring as you have been to us. So thank you. So thank you for being the best dad a son could ever ask for. You've molded me into the man I am today. Now, as most of you know, I lost my mom just over a month ago. And for those of you who were lucky enough to know her, you knew what an absolutely amazing and selfless woman she was. She taught me to put others first and to live life positively no matter what the situation was, even when faced with your own mortality. One of her sayings that she always kept in the kitchen was, no matter whether the glass is half empty or half full, there's clearly more room for more wine in it. And that really does pretty much sum her up in one good phrase. She's always positive, no matter what. She was the strongest woman I know, best cook in the world, an all-around amazing person without exaggeration. I carry on all that she taught me, and she is half the reason, not even half, she's more than half the reason I am the person I am today. When she was sick, my biggest worry was that she would be too weak and too sick to be able to travel to the wedding. As I know, it would have killed her to miss on this party in person. She was never one to miss a party. And now I know that she is here with me on this big day, and I'm glad she's here with me. She was the pillar of our family, the rock of our foundation, and our family is built. She was the foundation, that our family was built on. She was the captain of the ship. None of us would be here or where we are today if it wasn't without my mother's love and caring. And I know how much she loved us because I was lucky enough to have heard her heart beat from the inside. So Mom, thank you for everything. And as the Robert Munch story you used to read to us goes, I'll love you forever, I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my mommy will be. On to the bridesmaids. You are a remarkable group of girls, to be honest. And I know Faye cherishes each and every one of you very much, along with her dozens of other great friends who have helped her prepare and celebrate here today. Mish, Santi, there she is. You're always a good time and such a good sport. You're a great chick, and we've shared a lot of great memories together, and I consider you and Kale like sisters after all the time that we spent together. And having you as a friend has nearly deafened me, but I couldn't imagine the past 4 years without you being part of all the madness we shared, so thank you. Kale, Machana. How's it, Joey? You are one of a kind, and have always kept the mood in check to make sure that everyone's having a good time. You're a great source of peer pressure and a touch of bad influence, and as you know, my arm is easily twisted, so. But man, has it led to some fun, so. You're an incredible source of fun and joy, so thank you for always being that friend. Sarah, thank you for approving of me and not convincing Faye that dating a guy she met on vacation half a world away was a bad idea. You were definitely Faye's good advice friend, and always with good reason. And I'm sure there are times when you had a serious talk with Faye regarding her foreign boyfriend who's never come to South Africa and she's kept running away to Canada for it, but I'm glad that I was able to gain your approval. At the end of the day, gain your friendship as well. So thank you very much. You got those tissues, guys? Get them out. Guys, last but certainly not least, I have written here in brackets, let calves cry. Okay. Now, but what can I say? I've known you the least out of the four, and Faye has known you the longest, and I feel like we've been friends forever. And I was always told by Faye that you were going to be the next president of South Africa. Although I think we'd all agree that you're overqualified. You're sweet, sensitive, sometimes too sensitive. You're fun and most of all a great friend, and Faye is really lucky to count you as her best friend, and I know I'm lucky to share in that friendship with you now as well. So thank you. You're all amazing. I don't know what the timer's at, but we're wrapping up, don't worry. We're getting there. Just keep drinking. To my groomsmen. First of all, the fact that each one of you has traveled here from a different corner of the globe, I think is true testament as to how good men you are and why you were chosen to stand by my side today. You're a fine group of men. I couldn't have asked for finer groomsmen, so thank you all. First of all, Mr. Christopher P. Flaps, a.k.a. Ryan, a.k.a. the Gimp. What can I say, brother? I really wasn't sure what I was in for when we first met, but I can tell you our friendship has been nothing short of magical and serious work of the cosmos. And too many good times to mention, and so many laughs without explanation. And that really is the definition of our friendship. So, the adventures and laughs we share are nothing short of priceless, and I know that no matter where we are, no matter where we meet up, there will be banter, there will be laughter, there will be adventure. So, thank you for being here. Especially with a broken leg. I can't wait to see you get this match from a wheelchair. It's interesting, to say the least. Bud, Okara, I owe you so many of my life experiences for your charm and persuasion, and can honestly say that Faye and I would never have met if you hadn't put the travel bug in my ear. You planted that seed, you've seen it blossom, and now you get to enjoy the fruit of your labor. So thank you for always enjoying. He'll probably have his shirt off in like 10, 15, so don't get too excited. Thank you for always instilling the adventurous spirit in me and all you do, as well as the people you meet. And you're truly a wise and inspirational fellow, and you've always been a great friend, and you're too mad to live and just too rare to die. So thank you for being a mad bastard. To Mike, my cannonball friend. When you're on a roll, you can't be stopped, and everyone loves it. Almost everyone. I like to compare Mike to instant coffee. He's easy to get going, he's better with alcohol, and has no filter. So thanks for always being the best friend right from kindergarten, for always just being yourself, even if we have to apologize to others afterwards on your behalf. Oh, I feel like I should have wrote more on this guy. Justin, how do you define a best friend? Well, to start, we make music videos for each other. If you haven't seen the one that we've done for Justin's wedding, go onto YouTube and check out the rap we did. We're pretty gangster. A best friend is someone who lends a hand towing your boat and trailer, then flips it, helps to heave it back onto the trailer by hand, makes sure to post the frustration caused by such an event on Facebook, then helps fix it up and joins you for a fish out on it the next day. We've always stuck close, and there weren't too many days I wasn't at your house after school, either eating your mom's food, trying to beat a video game, or making stupid songs, or standing in net as a goalie for road hockey. We've traveled the world, lived together, made each other laugh, pissed each other off, and through it all, we've always stayed best friends. I owe a lot to you, and know that as life goes on, we'll always be there for each other. So, thank you for always being my best friend. Father Michael, I'm lucky to have gotten to know you over the years as a priest, a person, and most importantly, a friend. You were the best friend to my mom, and I know it delighted her to know that you were here to perform today's service, and so are we. I'd like to thank you for making our marriage before God personal and meaningful, and for traveling so far to be an integral part of our day. And just for the record, Father Michael was the first person to book his flight here back in September of this year. Before an invite was printed, before I even had my flights booked, so he definitely wins the Keener Award. Quickly, I'd like to thank everyone else who traveled from afar to be here today. Justin, Mike, Helen, Lindsay, and my dad who traveled from Ottawa, Patrick who traveled from Perth, Ryan who traveled from Niseko, Japan, with a serious injury, my cousin Jim again who traveled from California, who's been a huge help today and always. Rowan and Elaine who traveled from Amsterdam/Ireland. Faze and Jenny, Nikki, and Pete, who all traveled here from London. To all of you who traveled from Cape Town, Joburg, St. Francis, and Durban North. Sorry for the trek in, but thank you for all of you for making such an effort to be here. It really does make the world to us, or it means the world to us, whether you come from near or far. So thank you all for being here, because it's really made today what it is. Now, Mrs. Murdoch. Oh boy. It's scary, isn't it? It's probably best my mother isn't around to tell you just what it means to be a Murdoch. But I'll try to give you a quick rundown. Being a Murdoch comes along with a lot of obligation and responsibility. I hope you know. First of all, grants you permission to start any hobby or home improvement project you'd like and never finish it. The idiom, one man's junk is another man's treasure, is to be lived by strictly and shamelessly. Your cursing vocabulary has immediately expanded along with your temper. And you may begin to pine for yard work, yearn to work with your hands, And most of all, you can linger as long as you like after parties, nights out, weddings, literally any time. She's a lingerer. Learn from the best. Deep down though, you'll always be a Jacoby. Whether the name has changed, that you will never lose. And that's definitely not a bad thing. You're daddy's little girl, and you always will be. You'll always love being the boss. Admin is your expertise. Stern but fair in all you do. Well liked and admired by others. And I really couldn't be more proud to have you as my wife. From the moment I met you, I knew that I would never meet anyone like you again, which is why I jumped on the opportunity. And growing up, I thought I knew exactly what true love was and how it felt. That was until I met you. And I felt something completely different, something that I had never felt before. A feeling I didn't know I could feel, and felt so good and better than anything I'd ever felt before. I knew it was love from early on, and nothing has changed. In fact, it's only gotten better. Your beauty is endless. Your grace and your elegance is outstanding. Your kind, nurturing nature makes me feel safe and comforts me always. You're so intelligent, independent, strong, and I admire it so much. I've never gotten along with anyone as well as you, and I know that when we're together, we can achieve anything. Thank you for always standing by me, helping me through the tough times, for making me a better person just by being around, and for always being so loving. Thank you for being an immigration superstar, for the hours of work you put into applications. Because God knows I'd still be stuck in Canada right now if it wasn't for you.
So what?
Should make some people laugh. You're gonna go home with a 10. You're the coolest kid in the block, so like, it's just... Or to a crisp, end up in hospital ward, free healthcare. But I know you'll be an amazing wife, an incredible mother, and I really am looking forward to sharing all of my days with you and creating a beautiful family. A family as beautiful as those that we've come from. I'm so fortunate to be your husband and to have the opportunity to protect you, care for you, to provide for you, and love you as much as I possibly can. Thank you for loving me no matter what, always trusting me and never giving up. With you in my life, I want no other, and I want no more. I love you loads. I love you more than words can say. So I'll say no more. I love you. Great. Now let's get this party fired up. I'd like to ask you all to stand now. Toast to Faye and I. I'll ask you to stay standing because immediately after this we will be doing our first dance. So, get the camera off the thing. But no, a toast at the beginning of a long, happy, and healthy marriage, and a toast to all of you for being here for it. And I'll end on this proverb. People often ask me what drives a man to party, and only one reason pops in my head. If a man can't party while he's living, how the hell is he supposed to do it when he's dead? Let's give her. Cheers, everybody. I love you all. So everyone actually, sorry, I'm not done talking. Sorry. So we're actually going to do the father-daughter dance first, which I'm to announce. So what we're going to ask is that everybody stand, charge your drink, of course. The bar is open in a moment. But yeah, please circle around the dance floor. Join in this special moment. We're going to have Stephen and Faye have a dance here, and then we're going to have our first dance afterwards. And after that, we let loose. So yeah, grab your drink and gather around.
say, just get an electric guitar and take some time. Learn how to play. You gotta learn how to play.
Say goodnight to Canada. Say goodnight to Canada.
Good night, Canada.